The flickering black and white footage feels like a memory from a dream we all share. It shows grainy images of early medical experiments, wires and electrodes touching human flesh, scientists in stark white coats making promises of a better future through technological intervention. The scenes are haunting in their simplicity, a raw depiction of humanity's long and often troubled quest to master the body. They speak of a time when the brain was a sealed mystery, a black box that could only be prodded from the outside. Transhumanism is a simple idea with complex consequences. It suggests that we can use technology to go beyond our current human limitations. It is the belief that we can and should use science to enhance our bodies and our minds. This is not about just curing illness. It is about fundamentally upgrading what it means to be human. Proponents envision a future where we live longer, think faster, and possess abilities that are currently confined to the realm of science fiction. They see technology as the next logical step in our evolution, a tool to consciously direct our own biological destiny. This concept of the human upgrade is moving from philosophical debate to tangible reality. The benefits of this movement are often showcased through inspiring and heartwarming stories. Consider a person locked inside their own body by a severe spinal cord injury. A brain-computer interface, a small implant that reads neural signals, can grant them the ability to control a robotic arm to type on a screen with their thoughts, or to communicate with loved ones once more. The field of neurotechnology is no longer a niche academic pursuit. It is a burgeoning industry fueled by billions of dollars in investment corporations. Governments, companies are racing to develop and patent brain-computer interfaces, each promising to unlock the secrets of the brain for different purposes. One of the most prominent names is Neuralink, founded by Elon Musk, which aims to create high-bandwidth implants to treat neurological conditions and, eventually, to merge human consciousness with artificial intelligence. Their work, demonstrated through animal trials, captures the public imagination with its audacious goals and futuristic vision. Beyond the high-profile players, a host of other companies are making significant strides. Synchron has developed a stent-like implant called the Stent Road, which can be inserted into a blood vessel in the brain without the need for open brain surgery, a less invasive approach that has already been implanted in human patients. To understand the potential risks of brain implants, we must first look back to a revelation that fundamentally changed our understanding of modern surveillance. In 2013, a former intelligence contractor named Edward Snowden leaked a massive trove of classified documents from the National Security Agency. These documents laid bare the shocking scale and scope of global surveillance programs run by the United States and its allies. They revealed how governments were secretly collecting vast amounts of data on their own citizens and people around the world. This was not targeted surveillance of suspected criminals. It was mass, indiscriminate data collection. The leaks proved that intelligence agencies were tapping into the central servers of major internet companies, gathering emails, search histories, social media activity. They were collecting billions of phone records every day. The surveillance architecture revealed by Edward Snowden was built on the data we generate externally: our clicks, our calls, our messages, our location. It is a system designed to infer our intentions and thoughts by analyzing our digital footprints. Now, imagine a world where this system no longer needs to infer. Imagine if it could access the source. This is, the frightening possibility that arises when we contemplate the fusion of mass surveillance systems with the nascent technology of brain-computer interfaces. The final frontier for data collection is not our phones or our computers. It is the human brain itself. A device implanted in the brain, designed to read neural signals, could generate the most intimate data set imaginable. It could potentially register a person's emotional state, their level of stress, their focus of attention, or even their subconscious reactions to different stimuli. If this data is transmitted wirelessly to a company's servers or becomes accessible to government agencies, the nature of surveillance would be fundamentally transformed. It would shift from monitoring what people do to monitoring who they are, their very feelings, thoughts, and biological predispositions. The concept of a private inner self could become a relic of a bygone era. When people contemplate the fusion of brain implants and state power, their minds often turn to dark, dystopian scenarios. These are not presented as factual predictions, but as expressions of a deep-seated fear about the potential for abuse. One of the most common fears is the loss of free will and individual autonomy. People worry about their thoughts. People worry about their emotions. People worry about their core beliefs. Whether it's a corporation trying to make them a better consumer or a government trying to make them a more compliant citizen, the idea that your own mind might not be fully your own is a terrifying prospect. Another prevalent fear revolves around the idea of a technologically enforced social hierarchy. Access limited to a wealthy elite, creating a biological divide between the enhanced and the unenhanced. This could lead to a permanent cognitive upper class, solidifying social and economic inequality in our very biology. Conversely, people also fear mandatory imposition of implants on certain populations. To navigate this complex landscape, we cannot rely on a single perspective. A robust public debate requires a council of diverse voices, drawing on expertise from many different fields. First and foremost, we must listen to neuroscientists. We must listen to engineers, the people actually building this technology. Experts like Dr. Rafael Yuste, a neuroscience professor at Columbia University and a leader of the Neuro Rights Initiative. They can explain what the technology can and cannot do. They can ground our conversations in scientific reality, separating plausible risks from fantastical speculation, and help us understand the technical safeguards that could be put in place to protect users. Equally vital are the voices of tech ethicists. Equally vital are philosophers. Scholars like Anita Allen, a professor of law and philosophy at the University of Pennsylvania, specialize in privacy and ethics. Given the profound risks, leaving development solely to market forces and secret government labs would be collective negligence. A future where these tools serve humanity requires strong, transparent, enforceable rules. The first and most critical step: clear legal frameworks at the national level and the international level. Define mental privacy as a fundamental human right. Laws must specify who owns brain data, clearly the individual from whose mind it originates. Set strict limits on how that data can be collected, used, and shared by companies or governments. We live with machines. They have become extensions of our bodies, our voices, our memories. They help us connect across vast distances and access the sum of human knowledge with a simple touch. Now, as they stand at the threshold of our minds, we are faced with a monumental choice. The story of this technology is not yet written. The code is not yet compiled. Its path can be one of healing, restoring function,